So my name is Eric Langi. I'm the project manager for BM. And as you're aware, anything opportunity for BM is as good you covered. So we are an organization that shares opportunities with the young people and women. So when you say opportunity, we're looking at something like a job opportunity, business opportunity, a scholarship, a fellowship, a training opportunities, and also reading resources. Yeah. But we don't only share opportunities, but we ensure that you are opportunity ready. Yeah. So that we don't share a job advert with you, then you struggle making a CV or attending an interview. Yeah. So just to ensure that you're opportunity ready, we organize such kind of trainings. So every Thursday, we always have a speaker who is going to just talk to you on a specific area of professional or career life. Yeah. So for today, we are talking about interviewing skills, job interviewing skills, because normally we give career professionals to write our CVs on our behalf. Then we will be shortlisted to attend an interview. But you know, the career professional will not attend that interview for you. You will attend it on your own. So you need those job interviewing skills just to ensure that you convince the interviewing panel and eventually you get hired. And to get us through there, we have Eric Muge. Eric Muge is a career coach, an experienced career coach. I think this is the time that the third time that he's going to appear here. And Eric Muge is the founder of Muge Kachi CVs. Yeah. So when you want services of CV writing, also things like just coaching around interview skills here, optimizing your LinkedIn profile or anything around your career, then you can contact Eric Muge, the founder of Eric Muge Kachi CVs. Yeah. So without much ado, I'll invite Eric. Eric, probably you will just talk a little bit more about yourself, then carry it on. Yeah. Karibu, Eric.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. My name is Eric. I'm also blessed to be part of this team as get an opportunity to speak to your people. I have an experience of more than 8 years in career coaching, CV writing, interview preparation, and job hunting strategies. I coach different people. I've coached different sectors. I've coached governors, CA, and all that, of ministries of the county governments. So it is also good to speak to young people or job seekers about how to prepare for the interview. I know there's a time I spoke about how to write a winning CV and how to look for a job using LinkedIn. Today I want to speak about interviewing skills. I know these sessions, when you come to me separately, I will charge you, but for now I'm going to give you for free. So take as much as you can. Now I'm going to speak in 3 parts. Before the interview, what is supposed to be done, during the interview and after the interview. And I'm also going to touch a little bit about how to respond to some questions that are normally asked in an interview. Okay, before you go for an interview, maybe you apply for a job and they shortlisted you and they told you that you're going to have a physical or online interview because they are either physical or online. There are things that you need to do, key things that you need to do. Number one, you need to do a research about the company. Number two, read more about the JD. Ensure that you captured every aspect of the JD on your fingertips. You have every aspect, the skills, the requirements, the experience the person they were requiring for. Ensure that you've read that in totality. Number three, you need also to prepare on the dressing. Ensure that you if you don't have an official dress, mostly the first impression matters. Even if it is a job that will not require you to be dressing official, for this particular day, just try your best and put on official, because there are people who just put you off because of your dressing. If there is a lady, ensure you put on an official dress, something below the knees, the hairstyle, ensure that it's okay, it's actually rhyming with whatever you're going to do. And then ensure that you go there early, maybe 30 minutes before the interview. Something else also, ensure that your rapport from the house, the vehicle, to the reception, to the gate man, receptionist are okay, because sometimes after the interview, they will go and ask the gate man, how do you think about this person? They will ask the receptionist, how do you think about this person? If you greeted her in a bad way, or you are moody or something like that, you can lose it. So ensure that your engagement with them, it is official, it is friendly, there is no emotions or that. And then also, now during the interview, it is all about sitting posture, sit upright, don't lean on the chair or lean backwards. Number two, don't sit down before they ask you to sit down. Don't just get in that interview room and you sit down. Let them tell you kindly sit down. Then you appreciate and sit down. Those are small things that people avoid, but they cost you a job, or they cost your interview. And then ensure that there is eye contact. Always eye contact. And then something else that you need to also remember is that if they allow you to shake hands, please give a grip, a firm handshake. A person with eyes. Don't greet as if you don't want, or as if you are nervous, you are panicking. Greet them with a lot of firmness. Look in the eye and ask questions. And then after the interview, you need to do a follow-up. I know people apply for jobs, they attend interviews, they don't even follow up. And follow up, I mean, if they told you that I'm going to get back to you after 2 weeks, exactly or immediately, the 2 weeks elapses, write an email. Appreciate them for the interview. Number one, after the interview, immediately write them an email to appreciate them for inviting for the interview. And then wait for the 2 weeks and write an email reminding them of the interview you attended. And you will appreciate any feedback you get. So somebody said, or that fear that if I do a follow-up, I'm going to be disqualified. It's not illegal to do that. Write an email, don't call, don't write text, make it official through an email. And then also something else, after the interview, don't bribe, even if you have a number for the HR, don't send them money. That it will look like a bribing, and it can disqualify you. So those are small things that you need to be very careful, even as you attend an interview. Now, there are some things that are very important when attending an interview. And there are some questions that we'll never miss in an interview. And I want to just touch a few of them, and I will tell you how to respond to them. And then through the questions, I can even respond to more other questions. I have told you that before you attend an interview, read about the company, mission, value, vision, and everything. Look at the team. Look at the management team. They can ask you a question about management. Know the name of the HR. And when they introduce themselves, capture their names. That's why I always encourage. She says, my name is Irene, and she's the head of HR. Write down, so that when they will ask you about, they will tell you to ask a question, you become specific. Say that my question goes to Irene, the head of HR. This is my question. They will know that you've been listening and you are resonating with them. Because if you call somebody by his name, there is the sense of belonging or the sense of love or something. So you feel that you are concerned when you call him or her by his name. That kindly, Irene, repeat your question. So ensure that you write down their names and they introduce themselves with their titles, so that when your turn comes to ask a question, you don't just throw a question without knowing who is supposed to respond. Now, there are questions that are very key. A question like, tell us about yourself. A question like, give us your weaknesses. A question about salary. And a question about, do you have a question for us? I'm going to tackle those four, because others are normal, and I'm going to tell you how you respond to others. Now, across questions you are asked that talks about tell us a day that you did this. Tell us a day that you encountered conflict. Ensure you use what we call SAR. S-A-R. S-A-R. S-A-R means a situation, action, and result. Any question they tell you, tell us a time when you encountered pressure. Tell us a time that you are allowed, or you are in a situation, respond to a crisis. Respond with SAR, SAR. Give a situation in your past experience, maybe the company you worked for or the current company. Tell us what you did and give us the result. And let the result be positive. If they want to tell you the time that you are a leader or how you showed leadership, give them a scenario in the company you ever worked for. What the crisis that was there, or the situation that was supposed to be addressed. Then tell us what you did. You don't talk about we, unless the question is about teamwork. But if it's specifically you, tell us what you did as a person, your contribution. And then the last thing, now, what was the result? What was the outcome? And the outcome must be positive. Now, a question about telling me about yourself, because that is a question that is always number one. You will never run away from this question. And these are questions that can either make or spoil for you. If you respond it well, you get it. If you respond wrongly, yeah, it doesn't matter whether you respond well in the subsequent questions. But if you give a bad response, somebody can have a bad, kind of attitude towards you, and whatever you respond later won't really consider. So this is the time you need to shine. This is the time you need to, bring yourself out against or beyond your competitors, so that when they compare your response and other candidates, they can see that you gave the right answer. Now, this question, I will tell you that you need to use what we call what you call SHE. SHE means hinge, honest, and engaging. That's how you need to respond to this question. Succinct means you need to be concise, precise. Don't explain about yourself. Number two, be honest.
I was making grades.
Pardon? Somebody speaking? Hello?
Go ahead. I think you need to do 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. So I was saying that use she, that is SHE, succinct, which means concise and precise. H means honest, E means engaging. So in a response to this question, ensure, remember those 3 letters. Be concise, to the point. Be honest, don't cheat, because if you lie, at the end they will catch you. You can lie, I was working at KRA, but they ask you a question, who is the managing director of KRA? You have no idea. And then also be engaging. Bring a story. No, these are human beings, and human beings, they relate well with the stories. Don't just give a flat response. Ensure that you give an engaging, be engaging, give a very good story about your journey, And then ensure that this question, you use the shortest time possible to respond. And I will tell you that in response to this question, have your JD on the fingertips. You can identify 4 key skills that they were highlighted in the JD. We call them keywords. And also identify key things that they were asking for. It's because when you read a JD, you can understand they want somebody who's a problem solver, for example. So ensure that when you are responding to this question, you highlight those key skills, key experience, and achievements, and tell them what you've done. Give them a story of what you've done, so that they can relate your skills and what you've done, and relate what you've done with the person they're looking for. Never respond never give a response that deviates from the JD. And remember that the JD is like your marking scheme. The JD is like your Kenya. If you respond or give a response that is outside the JD, you lose it. So ensure that in this question, talk about the key skills, talk about your achievements as per the JD, and give in an engaging way, in a good story, And this is not the time to talk about, if you're married, maybe, or maybe your religion or something. Be specific to the JD and use a maximum of 5 minutes. But I always say 3 minutes are okay. 3 minutes is okay. Quickly. Then another question that they will always ask you. I'm just touching a few so that you can ask questions later. There is a question they will ask you about. Tell us about your weakness, or what is your weakness? What is your weakness? And people get a hard time to respond to this question. Some of them say they don't have weaknesses, and you need to know that this is not a question. They never made mistake to ask such a question. They know what they want. They want to ask. They know if you are accountable. They want to see if you are self-aware about your weakness. They want to know if you are a person who can own a mistake. So if you say I don't have a mistake or a weakness, it shows you are somebody who can own a mistake. In times of crisis, you run away from the crisis. So in response to this question, I will tell you that there are various ways not respond to it. First of all, never give a weakness that is within the JD. For example, you can say my weakness. Maybe you are being hired for a customer or for a sales job, and then you are saying my weakness is that I cannot negotiate or I cannot convince. You lose it. Give a weakness that deviates away from the JD. For example, if you are being hired for project management position, talk about creativity. That I'm not creative, because creativity is not required in project management. And if you mention that weakness, don't leave it there. Give a fixed strategy or a fixing strategy. How do you fix that problem? If you have a problem of remembering maybe the product list, tell us, I work with my notebook and I record down. Or I have a worksheet on my phone, I always refer. Give us a fixing strategy, how you are working in your weakness and how you're improving on that. I hope you've understood that. Then there is this question they will always ask you: why do you want to leave the company? Or why do you want to, why do you want us to hire you? Or why should we hire you? And this question, it is always, they will always ask you about this question. And I will tell you that you need to give 3 or 4 reasons that makes you the best for that position or makes you fitting for that position. And you can only get this from the JD. If they've asked you that they want somebody who has a master's degree, tell them, I have a master's degree. Mention those requirements they've mentioned in the JD. And then give them an achievement you did is as per the JD. Maybe if it's a sales kind of position, you tell them, I was able to, I managed to bring a revenue of 1 billion in the company within 1 year or within 6 months of my hiring. You see, that is an achievement that can actually wow the interviewer. This is the person you want. You see, so ensure that you give the requirements as per the JD, and say as if you're owning them. I have 3 years of experience, and that is what is in the JD. I have a master's degree in this. I've worked for these years of I've worked for 10 years or something. You get, so ensure that you're giving that response as per the JD, and kindly avoid mentioning things you did long time ago. Just mention things within 5 years. If you 25 years of experience, don't mention things you did in 20 years. Talk about the recent things, the recent development, recent achievement that you did, because they would really want to hear about your recent development, not things you did a decade something ago. And then in this question of why do we want to hire you, be precise, to the point, speak, cite examples that can really wow these people. After mentioning the requirements, why you feel like you fit for that position, now give real examples, cite examples in your previous working experience or in your current working experience. Tell us, if you are a salesperson, how many revenue, how many revenue did you bring? How many millions did you bring? Those are what they want. They want to hear the numbers. If it's finance, tell us, how many reports were you doing in a day? Or how the budget you're managing in a year. Maybe they want to hire somebody who can manage maybe 1 billion in a year, and you only manage 1 million. So if that is the case, then you are disqualified. So you need to know the numbers they are looking for and ensure that you put them in your response. And then maybe the second last question that they will ask you that I would really want you also to capture is, why do you want to leave? They will ask you this question always. And in response to this question, kindly avoid speaking about how you are handled or how you are handled in your previous company. Even if you are fired, even if they put some allegations against you which made you to resign, don't speak badly or negatively about your boss or about the company you worked for, because no HR will want to hire somebody who speaks ill about the previous company. They will fear that if you come here, you'll do the same thing. So don't talk about, negatively about that previous company. And then as much as you are leaving, you be forward focusing, focus the forward, tell them about why you left. You can tell them about your career growth. It's purely career growth. Or I was fired, but tell them when you were fired, for the period you were at home, what were you doing? Maybe you went for a refresher course, or maybe you went and you were doing some volunteer kind of work. So you need to be very, very honest. Don't lie. If you are fired, just say I was fired. And because of this and this, but I've been working, while I've been at home, I've been doing this and this. And tell them where you want to go. That I'm moving out of this company because I saw a fitting position in this company. I saw that I'm aligning well with the company or with your values or with your mission. So that's the reason why I would really want to work here and leave the other company. But it's purely career growth. I want to grow. I want a challenging environment. I'm looking for a leadership position. Tell them the reason why you are leaving. And then maybe second last question about salary. And this question, how much you're going to avoid it, they will ask you that how much do you want us to pay you? Or what is your salary expectation? Now, first thing, do a research about salary compensation for that position. And you can get it from Glassdoor. You can get it from LinkedIn salary tool. They will give you a rough figure. If it's for example, a director or a finance manager, just go to Glassdoor and Google the salary for this person. In Kenya, they will tell you a rough figure. You can also go through some employees, that company, and ask them what is the range, because some people may be knowing what is the range of this position. They will tell you it is between 300 to 500. You get. So ensure that you are research from your sources. You can do a research from other places. Then number two, please never give an exact figure. If they ask you that question, give a range. Why a range? It's because a range means or allows for negotiation. But if you give an exact figure and you've given a higher figure, you lose it. And if you've given a lower figure, it will work against against your value and your worthiness, or because when you go to that company and you quoted maybe 100,000 below, you look valueless. You will not have the motivation to work. So ensure you give a range so that if the exact figure is 200 and you give a range of 150 to 300, they can play within that. Even if you give that lower whatever, they will give you with that whatever they are offering. But if you give an exact figure, they will give you that. If it's a higher figure than is an exact figure, you lose it. But if you give a range, you can tell them that is negotiable. And by any chance, after you've signed the contract and you realize that you are getting lower, you've signed for a lower thing. Now give them an allowance for bonuses. Ask them if they can give you allowance. Ask them if they can give you, is there medical, is there any allowance, is there any bonuses, so that you can cover up with whatever you gave. If you gave a lower figure, you can fill up with those other, benefits that you will ask. And then the last question and the last part that they will ask you is about if you have a question for them. And remember, in this thing, never say you don't have a question. Because if you tell me you don't have a question, then I know you're not in this interview. You've been sleeping, or you are not relating with our questions. Because you need to be engaging in a way that if they ask you a question, you ask a question, ask. And that's the reason why I told you to work with a notebook, is because when you write those, you can write down some questions that they speak. Then you can ask them. And ask questions about the team, the challenges ahead in this position, and about the job you're going to work for, you are going to take or to undertake. And the most question I like asking is that, kindly, is this position a new vacant, or is it a new position, or somebody was holding it? And they will tell you it is a new position, or there's somebody who's doing it and he left, he got a promotion. It gives an idea that if these are working, if this person has been here for 6 months, he has left, then what is the problem? So that question actually pops in your mind, that this person is really keen to know what is exactly about this position. Number two, you can ask about challenges. That which challenges which challenges did the person who was in this position facing? Which challenges was he facing, or was she facing? Another thing you can ask them about the product, that you did a research about this company, the products, their benefit, their profit. If it's equity with them, I saw you made a lot of profit. Kindly, what was your key indicators, or what was your key things or principles that you used to achieve these profits? It will show that you are interested in this brand. It shows that you've been doing research about this company. Don't ask a question about benefits. Don't ask a question about salary, because that is a disqualification. Never ask about that. I think that's the end of my presentation, and I would request any question with regards to this. If we had time, I would have given you 26 questions they would ask and how to respond to them. But one thing you can remember, any question about, tell us a scenario when you experienced hardship, challenge, use SAR. If they ask you a question about, tell us about yourself, ensure that your response is in form of she, SHE. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.
Okay, so there are some questions on the chat. Let me just go through them and you respond. I think this one you responded to. Do you have any question that one you responded to? Somebody is asking, what if you initiated a project which later became a success, but you left before its completion? What would that be? Would that be considered as an achievement?
Yeah, the fact that you initiated, the word initiating, sometimes founders of companies, they may not be there forever. They might have founded a company, and along the way he leaves, but he's called is included in the list of founders. So the fact that you initiated, that is an achievement. Even if it was not completed, maybe there was some issues that were beyond your reach, maybe finances or something. So those challenges are not on you, but for you, you made a step by ensuring that the company or the project was founded or initiated. So that's an achievement that you can mention.
Okay, thank you. Somebody is asking what, sorry, I think I read that. Somebody is asking about the salary expectation. How do you approach this scenario during the salary expectation?
Okay, I know I had responded, but I can still repeat. I repeat that don't give an exact figure. First of all, do your own research on glass doors, on prospects about salary, or possible salary for that position. You can ask, you can look for people in that company through LinkedIn and ask them a question about how much do these people get. If once you have that information, now when you go to that interview, give them a range, don't give an exact figure. And a range shows that you can negotiate. So for example, if you're given more, you can negotiate to a lower figure that is within their range. If you've given them lower, they can bring you up. So that's the benefit of using a range. And if by any chance you gave lower, you realize that you gave lower and you are signing a contract, now you can ask if there are other benefits. Tell them to give you some other benefits like allowances, like transport allowance, like medical and other bonuses, so that you can fill up your gap.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Can I make a comment, please?
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Muge, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your session was extremely informative, well-researched, well-presented. And the fact that you gave a presentation in 30 minutes, exactly 30 minutes, shows that you're a true professional and you're able to decipher all the issues. So I just want to thank you on behalf of all the members of Forgotten Bottom Millions, 4BM, and thank you for spending time with us. And I trust that everybody who's on the call has learned something, but most importantly, will use it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we still have some 7 minutes. So Eric, somebody is asking, how do you handle inappropriate or personal questions? That is Lou. I don't know what they mean by inappropriate personal question, but probably maybe questions that are a bit off the interview than that are related to the interview.
Okay, thank you so much. And those when they come normally, sometimes they ask you this question, they want to check your anger, your temper. So they can ask you personal questions that are you married, things like that. I will tell you that be just wise not to respond to them. Don't be angry. Don't tell them, don't tell them that that's not part of the interview. Just respond well, because you may not know why they're asking that question. They want to test maybe your anger, they want to test something. So just be wise not to respond to them. If you feel like it's beyond you, just tell them that I'm not able to respond to this, but in a polite way, not in a harsh way.
Okay, yeah. Somebody is asking, what is the best way to tackle aptitude tests?
Okay, that one, just do it's like going for an exam. Just do your revision, read more about that position, do your own research, read more, because like an exam that is not well prepared for, you will fail. So there is no any trick about how to pass that. It's all about preparing and reading more, because they can ask you any question. They can give you a very simple math that you need to do. So just be all round and ensure that you read everything in the readiness for that test.
Okay, thank you. Then somebody is also asking, what are the tips that introverts will use to attend these interviews? I probably think ideally those introverts, people who find it hard talking and develop some tensions easily.
Okay, you see, face-to-face interview or any interview, they want to actually check your social and communication, abilities. So if you are somebody who does not speak to people, I don't know how you're going to hack that. But that's why I will tell you, before an interview, try to rehearse yourself. Go for a mock interview. Look for a coach or an interview coach who can prepare you for these interviews. So they can tell you these tips. Then you'll be ready for that interview. You can stand in a mirror, ask a question, respond to it yourself. See how you're responding to that. Just do your own mock interview to actually gain those communication skills and the speech and all that. So it's all about that preparation and looking for somebody. If somebody doesn't speak, look for a coach who can train you on how to speak.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Jen, your answer up. You can unmute and ask a question or give a comment. Go ahead, Jen. Jen? Okay, Jen, we can't hear you. I think I've read all the questions. So if maybe there's any other person with a question, you can just unmute and talk. Okay, so there are no more questions. So thank you very much, Eric, for this wonderful presentation. Guys, go to LinkedIn, go to all on Twitter and all those social media platforms and search for Eric Muge, the career coach, or Eric Muge catches CVs, and kindly follow him there and also try and interact with him more. There's an offer that he had for just reviewing people's CVs for free. I don't know if the offer is still there, but just follow him. You'll learn more about those offers, and he might be able to just to help you review your CV. Yeah. Then also follow the Forgotten Bottom Millions 4BM on all social media platforms, and you will be able to know the opportunities that we have or trainings that like this that we're going to have. Yes. Okay, probably Eric, because we still have 2 minutes, there's a question here that somebody asked. How do you handle a question that you don't have an answer to? Maybe they asked something and you don't have an answer to that. How do you go about it? I think that's a nice, good question.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes they can ask you a question, you don't have an answer. One thing I will tell you that don't lie, because you can lie and it actually turns against you. Just tell them you have no answer for that. It doesn't show that, it shows honesty, it shows openness. You get that? So it doesn't show that now you will fail because you said you don't have a response to that. But don't lie, because lying can work against you. But just tell them that kindly, I don't have an answer for this. That we shall understand.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So for those of us who are asking about the recordings, tomorrow check on YouTube, Forgotten Bottom Millions, our page, and you'll find all these recordings. Our YouTube page was pulled down, but we managed to recover it. So tomorrow, just check. Yeah. Then next week, same time, we're going to have a lady who's done a lot on LinkedIn, and actually she was awarded LinkedIn Top Voice for this year. LinkedIn Awards, those who are doing a lot of stuff on, who are using the platform to just create some social change or become an authority in a particular area. So if you have the most engagement, then LinkedIn will actually notice and award. Yeah. So next week we are going to have her. She's some lady from Nigeria. We're going to have her, and she's going to share her experience of how she's managed to navigate through LinkedIn and use LinkedIn as a platform to reach her goals. Yeah. So next week, same time, same day. I watch out for that. Yeah. So Eric, your parting shots as we close.
My parting shot is that kindly, I am giving a free review, CV review that is ongoing. Kindly, you can share your CV just to my LinkedIn, and you can get my email. If you feel like you've been applying for jobs and there's no good response, share your CV. I'm going to review it and give you an honest feedback about your CV, and I will give a recommendation on what to do, so that you can. That is a free service. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you again.
Yeah. So guys, check out Eric Muge, the career coach, on LinkedIn, so that you benefit from that free CV. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So and also thank you for attending this. See you next Thursday, same time, same platform. Bye, guys. Have a good night.